Mr. Bozgoz?
Come in, Your Honor.
Just Mr. Bozgoz. Step back.
Can I get spoken to regarding my media coverage request, Your Honor?
Just step back.
I'm following your order. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm not represented by counsel today in pro se, but I do have my two ADA advocates present.
What are they here for?
They're here to assist me.
I'm also a fact witness, Your Honor. My name is mentioned in her complaint, and there are falsities about that as well.
What's your name?
I'm Christopher King, and I filed a notice of media coverage as well. This is a national case involving...
Wait. Please be quiet. I'm not addressing you.
Oh, is that right? Well, you're going to address me now, because I'm definitely going to address you. In this venue, and in every venue I can find, until you step from the bench and thereafter. Don't you ever talk to me like that again, or anybody else who comes before you as an ADA advocate or as a First Amendment journalist. You, Your Honor, are about to get schooled. This case involves allegedly unlawful retaliation by the VA that started with unlawful treatment in the workplace that graduated to unlawful bullying in court by largely Democratic judges who allowed Supervisor Voncelle James to commit sworn perjury when Plaintiff Robert Bozgoz simply tried to serve her a federal complaint. Judges Zuberri Williams, Rand L. Gerber, Debra L. Dwyer on Stateside, and federal judge Amy Berman Jackson have all conspired in this. Williams, from the start, allowed the bogus criminal case against the Bozgozes to go forward, as you will see, even though it was clear that Voncelle James' husband was aggressive towards the process server, Lance. And even though service of process is never a criminal issue unless the server is in some ways threatening, which they were not. Then Judge Dwyer's alleged de novo hearing, was a joke, and the court deleted crucial testimony and argument by ADA advocate and Lieutenant Colonel Margaret Sue Bozgoz. We'll hear about that later. Now, the court did it yet again when it finally null-prossed the bogus criminal charges against Robert in a December hearing in which I was present. You will hear audio from the court that we finally got after we had to demand it after the court once again initially provided only a portion of the hearing. In the audio, you will hear a very nasty Judge Gerber ignore the law on the ADA by not even allowing Ms. Bozgoz or me to walk up with Mr. Bozgoz. And because of this, he predictably froze and forgot to clarify that he still must be able to send legal documents to Voncelle James' husband. So now he remains scared and traumatized by a VA and legal machine that caused veteran whistleblower Jamie Foxx to sue and settle a year ago. She's with us on this. Now, the ethics complaints against Judge Gerber for the ADA, First Amendment, and general issues of deportment will be filed with a copy of this video. Meanwhile, VA lawyer Alan Birch has not agreed to accept service of the Fifth Amendment complaint on behalf of Voncelle James' husband, so he's in on this game as well. So, now, according to Lieutenant Colonel Bozgoz, she says that Alan said he has to get back with me, however. When I added him last week at the last minute, he then stopped talking to me. We then requested reasonable accommodations from the court and President's staff so that we could get the U.S. Marshal to serve the remaining defendants because Judge Amy Berman Jackson ignored our request in September to order the Marshal to serve her. Okay? This is the same judge who wouldn't even grant them the right to electronically file, making all of their work completely monotonous and expensive for paper copies to send to the court. The court prefers electronic filings. And Robert was a JAG attorney general. He's a lawyer, okay? But they still won't allow electronic filing, okay? This is retaliatory, clearly, and protective of the VA. And I have no respect for Judge Jackson for that alone. Folks, Robert Bozgoz was a judge advocate general, a major. Sue Bozgoz, his other ADA advocate, has trained with the VA and Warrior Games, and she's a lieutenant colonel. She has watched her compatriots fight for this country and die on the battlefields. And this is the treatment they receive from a largely Democratic judicial regime? This is shameful. Now, James, you may remember, is the woman who ordered Robert Bozgoz back to work over his doctor's orders, and he had a stroke. Okay, and, his brother died of a stroke again, okay? Now, once he was healthy, he subsequently was denied the right to overtime work on Martin Luther King holiday, while the Negroes in the department were allowed to do so because they're all buddies with Voncelle. But he's a white guy, all right? But he's married to a black woman, though, see? But they didn't know that at first, and that's the hook, all right? Now, this is where it gets fun, because it's basically Bakke reverse discrimination, okay? And I'm going to be floating this out there to the appropriate circles, all right, so they can follow up on this.
Robert Bozgoz.
Here, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm not represented by counsel today. I'm pro se, but I do have my two ADA advocates present.
What are they here for?
They're here to assist me.
I'm also a fact witness, Your Honor. My name is mentioned in her complaint, and there are falsities about that as well.
What's your name?
I'm Christopher King, and I filed a notice of media coverage as well. This is a national case involving...
Wait. Please be quiet. I'm not addressing you. Please be quiet. Is this for trial?
Is it my
State?
trial, sir? It is my trial, sir.
No, I know.
I haven't had an opportunity to speak to the victim yet. If we can pass it briefly.
Okay, I'm going to pass this case. If it goes to trial, how many witnesses do you have?
I believe it'll
No.
be,
You answer.
excuse me, be 4, sir.
Time estimate?
Give me a second.
He's not your attorney, or are you? Are you an attorney?
I'm not in this venue, no.
Okay,
I'm
step
just-
back, sir. Step back.
Can I get spoken to regarding my media coverage request, Your Honor?
Just step back.
I'm following your order. Thank you.
3 to 4 hours, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, pass the case. Have a seat. We'll get back to it later.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Robert Hart.
Robert Bozgoz.
Yes, Your Honor.
No, that's the state.
Do you advise him of his right to lawyer? Are you going to get a lawyer?
No, Your Honor. No, sir.
Do you want to talk to the state, try to resolve the case?
Be happy to, Your Honor.
Okay. Kawal Kata.
Heard, Your Honor. Thank you.
Excuse me. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. State indicates the case is resolved.
That's my understanding, Your Honor.
Okay.
And, Your Honor, the state is going to be entering this matter conditional nolle proseque, conditioned upon the defendant having no contact with the complaining witness, Ms. Voncelle James, that he will send no emails, no packages, and no CD-ROMs to her house.
Okay. Did you hear what the state just said?
Yes, Your Honor. Those are acceptable terms.
What's the person who he's to have no contact with? What was that name?
Voncelle, Voncelle, James.
Okay, the case will be conditionally null pros based on the following: that the defendant is to have no contact with Voncelle James. The defendant is to send no packages to the victim, Voncelle James, and not to send any CD-ROMs to the victim, Voncelle James.
Yes, Your Honor.
When you're not to send anything, no one is supposed to do it on your behalf also. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Have a seat in the front row, please.
Yes, sir.
And, Your Honor, the other